Hello and welcome to this video about the External Worker Client.NET. I'm Valentin Zickner, and in this video I'm going to create a simple .NET project, integrate the Flowable External Worker Client in there. Then we are going to create a process in Flowable Design. With that we are going ahead and executing the external worker task. In that external worker task we are actually calling out to .NET. And then later on, we will improve that we are handling also variables, which we will send to .NET and receive from .NET. So let's get started. And therefore, we are actually going to a terminal. In that terminal, I'm first creating a new .NET project, and it's a console project. At the end, it doesn't really matter which template you are using. The console one is just pretty simple. So in here, I just created a few different files. There's a program CS and a few other files about the project. Before we actually look at the program CS, and that is pretty simple so far, we are also going ahead and adding a new package. So that's Flowable Worker Client that you can simply install by that. It will download it, and now you can use it. Now, to get started with our project, we are looking at the GitHub repository from the external client.net. In here, we have a few examples which are about authentication and so on. The first one is actually for the Flowable Cloud. For the Flowable Cloud, you can go ahead and simply add your access token. And to get an access token, you actually click in the Flowable Cloud Trial on your user symbol, and in the Cloud Trial you have here an option to get an access token. Since I run that locally, I don't have that option, and with that I'm actually going ahead and using the local example which is in here. So I simply copy that, and then we go back here and we open the program CS file, and we remove actually the lines in there, and we are creating a few new lines. So we start with a few imports. After that, we start with the authentication. I have the default user admin and the password test, so that already works. We have then in here the URL, which is flowable-work or localhost flowable-work. I don't have that, so I just go for localhost 89. That's where my Flowable Work instance is running. In the next step, we actually have here my topic. So we are reading from my topic. And then we have in here just a wait that keeps the application open. And we see for the subscribe actually that we are using handle jobs to handle our jobs. That class is directly here at the bottom, and it implements an interface from the external worker client library. And it just simply prints handle job with the job ID whenever we are going ahead and executing a job. So with that, let's just exit that file, and then we can say .NET run program CS. And now it's actually compiling and starting that program CS file. So now we are waiting for external worker jobs. So to create one, we can simply go to Flowable Design. In Flowable Design, we are creating a new external worker app. I mean, you can call that app however you want. In there, I'm going to create a new process. That's our external worker process. In this process, I'm simply going ahead and adding an external worker task in here. There is actually here the small view, where you can just click on that user here and then go to Flowable Work and then select in here. Actually, it's not Flowable Work, it's activities. In here, you can select the external worker task and drag and drop that over here. When you have the list view, you can simply search for external worker task. Now this task still needs a little bit configuration, and we are mostly done actually with setting the job topic. And you might recall from earlier where we have seen we are listening on my topic. In case you have specified a different name in your program, then you would also need to use that name in here. With that, I'm going to save that. Then I go ahead and publish it. And once published, we are going to Flowable Work. In Flowable Work, I say create new. It directly asks me if I would like to create a new external worker process. And that's because that's the only process I have defined. When you have multiple processes, then you need to go ahead and select which one is the correct one. I press continue, and now we are looking at the history in here, and we see right now we have an open external worker task. When we go back to our client in here, that is doing in the background some polling, and we see that is now done. We see it handled our job. It provided the job ID in here. When we go back here to our process, we see that process is done. It's completed. In the diagram, actually, we see the exact same thing. To improve that a little bit, we also would like to transmit some information from our process to that external worker. And that is pretty simple. We first need to get some data. So let's say we are creating here an external worker start form. And we are going to say we are adding two fields in here, field 1 and field 2, just that we have some information. You obviously most likely want to have some business-specific fields, which you are providing in here, which you then can go in the input-output mapping from the external worker task and add over here. I just say here I only want to have field 1 actually on both sides, since we also would like to show that when you don't add them, what we are not doing for field 2, they will also not be visible to the external worker task. Now, actually, we would like to get some information back as well. So let's say we have an output variable. We call that, or it's coming as my response. And we just say that's our external worker response inside our process. So on the left-hand side, you have the element, how it is coming back from the external worker task. And on the right-hand side, how you would like to save it. So that's external worker response. Similar, we have it actually for the in parameter, where we first have the one in the process and then the one which we are going to provide to our external worker task. So we have an external worker response here. We are going to add that here and say response : external worker response. And with that, we see inside our task what is happening. So we save that, we publish it, and before we actually start executing it, let's simply end this program that we can do by pressing return. And we can now say create new, and we can hear this is awesome, and this is not visible to the external worker. So with that, we can submit that, and it is already there while we are coding on the program itself. So let's open that file in here. And here we would like to just iterate through all the variables and print them. Obviously, in your real program, you might want to go ahead and just search the variable you need and do something with that one. But I have here a simple example of pretty much printing all the variables, which illustrates the functionality pretty well. So variable.name is what we are printing. And we also would like to have the variable.value. And once all of that is done, we still want to return also a variable, so my response. And we need to write that exactly the same. This works. And with that, we have a variable in here. You see that success over here. There are other methods available as well. So in case you would like to fail technically, there's .failure. In case you would like to provide a business error, it depends on your context. If your context is BPMN, then it's a .BPMN error. And in case your context is CMMN, then it's .CMMN terminate. So let's just close that. We are going to run that program again. And we see here directly that it handled that job. And the reason is because the job was already there. So we are polling at the beginning once, searching for available jobs. We see we have that job. Field 1 is this is awesome. And when we go back over here and simply refresh that, we see that we have that task, this works, which is what we provided back from our external worker. And we see also in the history that we executed that process. So with that, we actually reached the end of this process and also of this video. In this video, we have seen how we can create a simple .NET project. We have seen how we can install the external worker client. We also have seen how the authentication works for the cloud and also for a local Flowable installation. We have seen how you can create a .NET program or C# program to actually call out to the Flowable installation and wait for tasks. And we have seen how we can variables in that entire scenario. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and see you next time.